What's poppin', you guys? Back at it again with a new scary story. Yep, and it's your pal right here, Exotic Mega Absol Dark, and so yeah, welcome back to a new scary story. I'm almost about to say Halloween story, but yeah, I'm almost about to say that when Halloween is over, like when Halloween is over a few days ago. I mean, I'm still I'm still in the process of I'm still in the the I'm still in the process of missing Halloween because this year's Halloween was best than last year's Halloween and the Halloween years ago. But I just to get it over and just wait for the next like 361, I guess, like 361 days till next Halloween. I guess like 361 days till next Halloween. But nonetheless, yeah, let's see what this story has in store. And as you can already see, it's called Trail of Blood. and already here's a scary funny story about a teenage boy who goes out on a date with a girl in his class. The only problem is that he is terrified of her father. This is a true story. Okay, then this just shows like two looks like it shows a picture and looks like an image of two snowmen with one of the snowman is like gushing out like shooting out blood from its like I was gonna say from its eye, but it looks like the blood is shooting out of its head, and it's covered in blood, and the other is getting his left eye like covered in blood. But no, well, I hope that's just fake blood. I hope that's just fake blood, not real. But with all that to the side, let's get on with this. Just I am all locked on as I read the story. Trail of Blood. Without further ado, let's begin. When I was a teenager, my parents moved to a new town and I had to go to a new school. There was one girl in my class who was really beautiful and I would have given anything to go out on a date with her. In one of our classes, the teacher paired us up for a project, so we were going to have to spend some time alone together. I figured this was my chance to finally ask her out. We we worked on the project at her school. I mean, we worked on the project at her house, but when I found out where she lived, I began to have second thoughts. She she lived in a she lived in a small wooden cabin in the woods. Her mother wasn't around, and her father really creeped me out. He seemed to be totally insane. He never said a word to me, and acted as if I wasn't even there. He walked around the cabin with his shirt off, drinking beer, chewing on tobacco, and carrying a shotgun in his hand. It seemed like the only thing he was interested in was hunting. The walls were lined with bear skin. The, the walls were lined with bear skins, animal heads, deer antlers, and skulls. It was extremely creepy. At, oh my god. At school, one of my friends told me he had rumor. At school, one of my friends told me he had heard a rumor about the girl. He said that her father had killed her mother years ago, but the police were never able to prove anything, so he got away with it. Apparently, the mother's body was found in the middle of town, riddled with bullet holes from a shotgun. He said the girl had to live. I mean, he said the girl had to stay with her father because he had. Oh my God! Now I'm seriously pissed off. He said the girl. He said the girl had to stay with her father because she had no other living relatives. The story really rattled me, but there was no way to find out if it was true. I wasn't actually going to come out and ask the girl about it. Eventually, I managed to work up the courage to ask the girl out to do my surprise. I eventually I managed to work up the courage to ask the girl out, and to my surprise, she said yes. It was a date. That night, I drove her to the place to pick her up. She answered the door wearing a short skirt, and she had done her hair and put on makeup. She looked gorgeous. Just as we were about to leave, her father took me aside and spoke to me for the first time. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what'll happen to you if you touch her, he growled. Suddenly, the story about him murdering his wife was the only thing I could think about. Sorry, guys. Really, I'm sorry, guys. Jesus, it's like I really can't talk. It's like I really, man. I took the girl to a movie, and afterwards we went skating. At night, her father's threat was preying on my mind. I was terrified that her dad was going to kill me when we got back to her place. I just couldn't get the thought out of my head. At the end of the night, I drove her back to her place. When we got to her house, she took me to a park at the end of her driveway and turned off the headlights. She wanted a kiss. At this point, I managed to forget all about her crazy father. I leaned over and kissed her. Well, my man's got Riz. Yeah, this teenage boy right here, this homie right here, yeah, totally got W Riz on that girl. Afterwards, I turned the headlights on and I noticed something strange. There was blood in the snow at the end of the driveway. At first, I thought I was just seeing things. She didn't seem to notice anything wrong. My heart was beating fast. I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to look like an idiot. There had to be a logical explanation for all this. I put the car in drive, and we started down the long-winded driveway to her house. The trail of blood seemed to be getting thicker. I became more and more nervous. She still said nothing. She was fixing her makeup in the mirror. I kept driving, but all I could see was more blood. A chill ran down my spine, and I broke out into a cold sweat. I turned the last corner, and as we pulled to her house, the headlights illuminated a figure standing outside. It was her father. He was standing right there, covered in blood, and he was clutching a huge knife in his hand. There was something lying at his feet in a pool of blood. It looked like a lady. Her father Eventually, her father started to approach the car. I completely freaked out and started to hyperventilate. Suddenly, tears were rolling down my face. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I even peed my pants. I was sure he was going to kill me. As it turned out, he had to drive me. As it turned out, he had to drive me to the hospital instead. I was having a full panic attack. I found out later that her father had. As it turned out, he had to drive me to the hospital instead. I was having a full panic attack. I found out later that her father had found a bear at the end of the driveway and shot it. she he dragged it to the house and was in the middle of skinning it when we pulled up. I also found out that her mother isn't dead. We were still together, and whenever I meet her father, he always brings up his incident and just laughs at me. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you guys that I kept stuttering a lot during this story. Jesus, what is wrong with me? Yeah, sometimes I really want to like beat my mouth so. Sometimes I really want to beat the crap out of my fucking mouth. I'm seriously like pissed off for the amount of stuttering I done during while telling the story. Yeah, yeah, I really wanted to like punch the shit out of my fucking mouth. This is just fucking ridiculous. Like now, like a fucking pissed off because of that. But nonetheless, this was really a great scary story. So it turns out that the girl's father wasn't crazy at all, and that huge knife that he had in his hand, he was just basically like skinning the bear he had killed with the shotgun. Yeah, he was just skinning the bear after he shot it with the shotgun. And and luckily the girl's mother isn't dead at all. So yeah, all things came to an end, to a good ending for the story. Nonetheless, this was the story, Trail of Blood. If you guys enjoyed the video, you guys already know the drill. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next story. And also, I'll be always copy and pasting the link of the website ScaryForKids in the description below, so that you guys can check out when you guys feel like it. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video.